All right, you know what? We're just going to call this the video journal. So, step one of having a business is you want to identify a market segment. That's the prime market segment. Prime market segment. Underserved, unfocused, underserved, I don't even know how. All right, so to me, here's what you want to look at. That's a market segment that's not being served properly, a market segment that's not being focused on, or a market segment that has an unknown need. Preferably as many of those as possible. So like with Aiza Zewelry, I'm looking at everything out there and I'm trying to figure out, what market segment is there available that is not currently being attacked with marketing ads and focuses from these companies that we could position ourselves to go after and focus on versus, being like everyone else. And so the positioning I'm seeing us taking is, creative bracelets and designs that everyone can afford. Now, the difficulties is now that that's kind of the market segment, now I got to figure out two things. A, when and how do they buy? B, I got to figure out the emotional connection point. Because there's a dynamic of, like my big focus is like blue collar working families, right? Both parents are working, or at least the moms, and I look at those dynamics, I'm going, okay, well, in those dynamics, you've got a situation where basically everyone in those dynamics is tight on budget, but why aren't they buying off of Amazon cheap jewelry? Right? Is it because they view it as cheap, or is it because they don't want to buy Chinese goods, or is it that they're just not thinking about that as a thing to buy? And that's where like some of these ads I want to create and do really is going to have to figure out. It's like, are these going to be ads, right? How can I make these ads in a way to where people think about this in a way that they haven't thought about before, where people want to buy jewelry that in the past would not have even considered it. And I think that's like a really great space is when you can get someone who hasn't thought, oh, how can I, should I buy this, or how can I buy this, to think, oh, I should buy this, when it wasn't a part of their like logic before. The difficulty is that really going to work? And so that's trial and error, to my brother's point. B, the thing that I'm concerned a little bit about, doing some research into this is like, how cheap can we really sell this? And how competitive are we really compared to everyone else? And then C, what's our durability look like? What's our longevity look like? What's the reality of how the market is? So there's a lot of variables going on. But step one of any market research is you got to figure out who your market segment is, who your target customer is, and determine who you want to go after. Then it's about gearing the branding and the strategy piece around that market segment. But if you want to test the waters before you fully sell yourself, throw some money in some ads, see what clicks, what doesn't click, see what works and doesn't work. And I think that's going to probably be the next step, is to get ourselves set up to be able to do that.